say belt and comot stand from the same place. When only one end inside belle. So what you do with your time in that house is up to you. Goat no say yam they cost. Be the goats in this competition and chew this game up.
So I watched an interview of Ebuka about the just ended Big Brother Naija Season 6 Shine Your Eye edition. And guys, it was so hilarious. It was very, very interesting, very insightful, and filled with a lot of juicy tea. Ebuka spilled a lot about housemates whom he felt were very, very strategies that did not work. He talked about surprise evictions, reasons why the evictions happened the way they happened. Hi! Guys, and I know a lot of you are already thinking particular evictions that happened during the season. Guys, there's a lot to talk about. So please ensure to watch to the end of this video to catch up on all the juicy tea. But before I continue, I just want to remind everyone that tomorrow is Saturday, and you know what happens on this channel. It is our YouTube live stream that happens every Saturday, 3 p.m. WAT, or you want to call it 1500 West African time. Guys, don't forget to join. There's something very, very juicy that we are going to be conversing about. So if you don't want to miss out, please make it a date with us. You're all welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bbnaija, and this right here is Frankly Speaking with Glory. I am the girl with the tea, yes, and the tea I will be spilling on this video is what I have just informed you about. So let's just quickly get into the video. Just as expected, for Ebuka, his first most strategic shine your eye housemate is Whitemoney. I mean, anybody you ask that question will literally, first of all, mention Whitemoney's name before any other housemate. But for Ebuka, it wasn't the very obvious fact of Whitemoney being in the kitchen from day one to the end of the show. Now, cooking, cleaning. Now, for him, he felt as though that it could be who Whitemoney truly is, because he doesn't really know anybody that cooks for a lot of people for that many days, that many weeks consistently. For him, where he felt Whitemoney was very, very strategic was the fact that Whitemoney was the shoulder in the house for the rest of the housemates to lean on. He was the one that was kind of giving them advice on what to do and on what not to do. I mean, looking at one who has applied and auditioned to be on the show over 4 times or up to 4 times. He felt like that was where Whitemoney's strategy kind of played off, putting himself or portraying himself in a certain way that he wanted the viewers to perceive him as. And then his second most strategic housemate was Angel. Guys, by the time Ebuka mentioned that he felt like Angel was very much aware that she was on TV a lot by constantly looking at the cameras, he just straight up felt like, okay, fine, this girl is just very, very strategic. But for him, he felt as though that, okay, fine, even though this girl knew that she was being watched by the cameras, she actually played it naturally. And guys, if there's anything I like about Ebuka, Ebuka is Ebuka is a lawyer. So Ebuka is always, should I say, polishing his words, polishing his statements so that it does not implicate him, so that he does not give away sometimes his true meanings. When he said that Angel was natural about it, I was just laughing. I said, Ebuka, don't worry, don't stress yourself. We already know, we've already done a lot of analysis about Angel's strategy on here on FSWG, so don't worry, okay? The naturality you're talking about, it comes in different dimensions, and we've dissected it, we've analyzed it, and we already know. And the funny thing is, even that same strategy, it's still playing out there in the real world. I mean, we've seen it happening several times on 1 or 2 Angel's interviews, which we're not going to go into anyways. But then moving on to strategies that did not work out. Now, obviously, once again, it was Boma and Tega. However, Ebuka had something different to say. Now, for Ebuka, he kind of believes Boma and Tega when they say that whatever weird relationship they had in the house was kind of strategic, was kind of scripted. Now, this is Ebuka's reason. For Ebuka, he said that even though he had mentioned earlier that Whitemoney and Angel were the most strategic housemates during the season, he felt as though it was actually Boma and Tega who started being strategic. As a matter of fact, most strategic, because only on day 3, they had already started talking about the reunion. Tega was constantly talking about highlights. Boma was always talking about, what people should expect, predicting the game and all of that. And that was one of the reasons why he was constantly warning them and reminding them every live eviction show to entertain us other than telling us the game, telling us what they want to do. So when Ebuka said that, I'm like, okay, if you say so. But I like what Ebuka said. He said that, I mean, if they wanted to play such a strategy, they would have looked at the environment. I mean, this is Nigeria. People do not want to see that, even though Tega claimed that she and her husband had an agreement, you know, that this is Nigeria. People do not want you to be that bad in a way that they do not expect, you know. I mean, you could be anything else, but not that. And also looking at the fact that Tega is also a married woman, and Boma obviously did what he did, you know, with so much recklessness and abandon. Like, okay, Ebuka, well done. But for me, I do not think it was scripted. I think those people, they just did what they wanted to do, and then when they realized that it backfired on them, that it did not work out the way they probably had predicted, they started looking for narratives and stories to cover up their act. I mean, guys, if you remember, on the day that Boma and Tega were evicted from the house, Tega was the one that actually said it was scripted on the stage when Ebuka interviewed her. But when Boma was evicted, Boma did not say anything. So by the time he had gotten out of the house, of course, it was very, very obvious that he and Tega, they must have seen each other, they must have talked, and Tega would have said, oh, I actually said it was scripted. And then moving forward, all the interviews they were having, both of them started saying it was scripted, I'm like, I beg, Nigerians are not stupid. Next, please. Now, of all the tea that Ebuka spilled during his interview, I found this particular one about Maria's surprise eviction quite fascinating. Now, guys, according to Ebuka's analysis, in the first week of the show, Maria and Whitemoney, they struck up a friendship, and people found it very, very intriguing because these two people, they are from two different worlds. You hear Maria's story of being a hair hostess, staying in Dubai, and then you hear Whitemoney's story, oh, the Okada boy, the guy that has cut hair, cooked, done this and that. So people were quite excited about their friendship, and then boom, Pere comes into the picture. And then before we knew it, Pere and Maria, they strike up an alliance against Whitemoney on the show. And so, guys, that particular period that Maria and Pere were up for eviction, Ebuka said that that was the week that they got so much vote. I can't remember if he said they got the most vote, but according to him, that was the week they got a lot of votes. Like, people voted so hard because it became a case of, oh, Whitemoney is the victim, and all Whitemoney's enemies must go. I think Queen was also up for eviction. Cross was also up for eviction. And guys, if you remember, I think Queen and Cross, they were very, very good to Whitemoney. So it became a tug of war for the viewers that, okay, fine, Pere and Maria, they've been, you know, they've been on Whitemoney's case, so all of Whitemoney's enemies have to go. So they were literally voting for these other people to stay and for Maria and Pere to leave. But then sadly, Maria got the least votes. And guys, if you remember how we analyzed it on this channel, I told you all that Maria's fans, they were not voting because they were so confident that, oh, she's beautiful, she's very, very opinionated. And guys, we know that in Big Brother Naija, season by season, it always happens that those ones who are very, very opinionated and beautiful and sexy, has a banging body, they kind of stay till the end of the show. So people were actually thinking that there's no need to put too much energy into voting. This girl, it's very, very sure that she's getting to the finals or even possibly winning the show. But then sadly, they got the shocker of their lives as Maria was evicted in, I think, week 4 or 5, I think. So guys, for me, all the things that Ebuka said, it wasn't really surprising because I already predicted it. We talked about it on here. But the part that really surprised me was the part that people actually voted the most that week for these other people, just so that Whitemoney's enemies, in quote, will be evicted from the show. Listen, guys, stop playing with the Bbnaija viewing audience. Stop playing with them. Not just the viewing audience, but also the voting audience. They are raving mad. Ebuka also gave his opinion about the top 6. Now, according to the interviewers, you know, how did that happen? Because it seemed as though the viewing public were ready to lynch the organizers of the show if Pere had not gone through to top 5. And in defense of course, the company Ebuka works for, he said said that, well, that they've actually been toying with the idea of a top 6 for the past 2 years. That, as a matter of fact, they even toyed with the idea of a top 7, although that would be too crowded. And the reason why they toyed with the idea and finally executed it this recently ended season of Big Brother Naija is because the final week in the house is usually the most boring. And so they knew that, okay, fine, there wasn't going to be any nominations, there wasn't going to be any serious, eviction happening as it regularly would happen on the show. So what it felt was like, okay, fine, even though Angel finished the task first, yeah, they should just, push everybody into the finals and create more engagement in the house so that people will have more people to talk, instead of having people who will just be sleeping and waking up in the house and waiting to see who is going to go home or who is going to emerge the winner on Sunday. And I'm like, okay, Ebuka, if you say so. But you and I know that in your hearts of hearts, that is not the only reason. It could be a part of the reason, yeah, but that is not the only reason, because guys, trust me, you saw the tension, guys, online, offline. If Pere had not made it through to top 5, I said the people would have been at a multi-choice office. Okay, I think some Paris fans, they made it to the office, so it would have been crazy. But listen, guys, Ebuka actually did spill a whole lot on this particular interview. The interview is almost an hour, and if I decide to start analyzing every single thing he said on this particular video, this video is going to be too lengthy. So let's do it this way. We're going to talk about some of it during our YouTube live stream tomorrow, coupled with what we will originally be talking about tomorrow. So please make it a date with us, all right? 3 p.m. WAT or 1500 West African time. So whichever part of the world you are, please ensure to use Google Word Clock to not miss out, all right? That said, I'll see you all on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Glory Elijah. Have an amazing day. Bye.